Hello, it's Wednesday, the 20th of January, and Mr. Wakeling back in the classroom again. I'm sneaking in as much as I can. We are carrying on with our work on coordinates today. Now, the coordinates for this week are going to get slightly more complicated. So I thought, right, I'll put myself back in the corner of the screen and I will make sure that I'm running you through, making sure we've got all of the techniques right. So remember, it's always in the house before you then climb up the stairs. That is the most important thing ever to remember about coordinates. You've always got to do your horizontal before you do your vertical. Okay. Now, question 1 for today's work shows cards. You've got 6 cards there that show the coordinates of 6 points. So each point on a grid has 2 numbers associated with it. It's in and it's up. So it's horizontal and it's vertical coordinates. So I'm going to do the first one with you now. I'm just going to select the little tool that allows me to draw things. This one says it's A is 4, 4. So I'm going to go in 4 and up 4, and I'm going to draw on my cross. Ooh, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a circle instead. You should really use crosses, but I'm not going to be able to do a cross, I don't think. Oh, I can do a cross there, look. So in 4, up 4. There we are. My cross is probably not what you'd expect it to look like, but that's the best I can do with the technology I've got at hand. So there it is. And then what you need to make sure you've done as well is use a text box, or if it's easier, print this out and write on it. Use a text box to label it A. It must be labeled, otherwise we're not going to know which one it is. So A is there. Okay. And then B is 2, 3. So I'm going to take another one of these. I'm going to go into, and I'm going to go up 3. There we are, like that. And I'm going to label it. I'm going to copy this and paste this. I'm going to label that one B. There we go. So I've done the first 2 for you. Now, what is really important as well, another thing that's very, very important to remember, coordinates always sit on the line where the 2 lines meet. They don't go in the square, the empty space. They go on the grid lines. Can you see if you can plot the other 4 pieces? Question 2. Here are the coordinates of 3 points. Plot and label the points on the grid. So same thing as you did before. Join up the points. What do you notice? Okay. Write the coordinates of 2 other points that fit this pattern. So once you've got your shape, you'll realize what other points fit in the pattern. Question 3, here are the coordinates of the vertices. Vertices, remember, is just a fancy word for corner. Here are the coordinates of the corners of a rectangle. Draw that rectangle on the grid for me. Colour it any colour you want. Number 4, 2 squares are drawn on a grid. Here are the coordinates of the vertices. Vertices, fancy word for corner, of each square. Do you think the squares will overlap? Draw them on your grid to check your answer. So before you draw, see if you can guess whether they're going to overlap. If you're doing mild, this is where you can stop. You've done really well. If you're doing medium, you're doing the next 2. And if you're doing spicy, you're doing the last one. Number 5, 2 vertices, fancy word for corner, of a triangle are shown on a grid. What are the coordinates of the 2 vertices shown? So remember, in the house before you climb your stairs. Because if you try and climb your stairs before you've walked through the front door, you're going to end up with a very sore nose. So part B, give a possible coordinate for the third vertex, the third corner in the triangle. If the triangle is right angled, remember, that's a right angle. Give a possible coordinate for the third vertex if the triangle is isosceles. And lastly, spicy challenge, the coordinates of one vertex of a square are 10, 10. What would be the other 3? How many different answers can you find? Good luck!